Hello and welcome to my vlog. Today we're going to talk about faith. It must be rooted in reason. Why is that? Well, let's find out. Part of our trial, our struggle here on this beautiful and often cruel planet, is to find God and the divine laws He has created by a path of our own devising. We are not allowed a shortcut. We are presented hints and signs and visions to move us along. Spiritist literature reveals the extent of the guidance and support we receive from the spirit realm. But at the end, faith in God's plan is a mountain we must climb alone. While we may have tethers to others close to us, it is up to our stamina, dedication, and courage to pull ourselves up to the summit, because only through hard work and strenuous effort, by our sure-footed reasoning, can we build a solid base upon which to hold on to our faith while the winds of society tries to blow us off the side of the mountain. In the chronicle, The Life of Jesus, in chapter 13, which is available on the internet, are words that ring true. While I can't vouch for the authenticity of the entire communication, I detect true wisdom and understanding of the state of our plight as humans on earth. This is what a spirit messenger from Jesus told the medium. In exercising its freedom, the spirit finds the necessary calm for its faith, the fervor for bold ideas, and the decision to direct its own work. But can this possibly be a complete and lasting freedom? Unfortunately, not. No, because the sad dependency of spirits on each other must exist for the establishment of God's justice in the worlds in which the destruction of the inferior species by other superior species indicates a progressive march that concludes with man, in the worlds in which the enormous disproportion between the spirits themselves comes from causes painstakingly defined by the science we have established, a science that recognizes the immutability of natural laws. Now, it is a fact that the spirit's material dependency is a law of this world, ergo no one can avoid it, and the higher spirit that is temporarily here conquers a provisional freedom or saddens on account of the oppression of its willpower. The weaknesses of faith are inherent in any belief held by concessions from reason itself. The weaknesses in the faith are sources of continuing efforts for all those who practice a religion without really understanding it. Fanaticism, which consists of an ardent faith without reason, must be considered as a disease of the spirit. True faith is never separated from reason. It points to a personality convinced of its divine attributes, and this personality is forced to bow before the duties that result from it. The paragraph above is dense. There is a lot of information packed into it. In essence, we are told, 1. We have free will, but possessing free will doesn't mean we can make decisions in a vacuum. Our choices will always be limited by the world around us. We must make choices in the recognition of how our decision affects others and society at large. 2. We are bound by a set of divine laws. We can't escape the force of these laws. First, we reside on a planet of atonement, which means we live amongst a whole range of relatively immature spirits who are sent to this planet to pay for past wrongs. Our goal is to become a civilized spirit. To become one takes a walk through the fire of our trials and tribulations. Only by arduous effort in multiple lives will we remove our blemishes. 3. Those who are on this planet with more experiences and successes in previous lives are not given any special pass. They are subjected to the same waves of emotion and arrows of ill feeling as the rest of us. Higher spirits are expected to perform better by being more focused, drawing on their spiritual resources in history to withstand external forces. 4. Giving yourself to a religion, cult, or doctrine unquestioningly is a sign of weakness and poor judgment. Abnegation of personal responsibility to an earthly organization demonstrates a desire to withdraw to a life without stress, without physical and intellectual struggle. 5. Faith is not blind trust. Faith is a belief in the extrapolation of what you know. For example, you work with a group of people. You know who is capable of performing well or poorly. You select a high performer to carry out a task. You have faith in that person's ability to be successful, only because you have seen results before, not because that person promised they could do well. While that person may falter, which would cause you to reevaluate your point of view. The original vote of confidence was built upon a foundation of reasoning. Number 6. Once we believe in the spiritual world and its set of divine laws, then we must follow that to its logical conclusion, which entails us to behave in a manner fitting with the Spiritist doctrine. Faith is not the end, but the means to ascend in the spirit hierarchy. Only by acquiring faith can we begin to truly learn from the next level of experiences, which will be assigned to us. The next paragraph notifies us this is so. Whatever the guideline cause of duty, it is the result of struggles, of claudicating of previous faults of the spirit, whose future duties shall be shaped in the same way, based on those of the present. Only very slowly can the human nature get rid of its carnal tendencies, but only true faith can convey the thrust of courage, perseverance in all matters, contempt for all dangers, and the study of the duties become easier and easier. The material life is exhausted when the spirit conquers new positions, which rises from stage to stage until the complete annihilation of materiality. Brothers of mine, true faith honors the industrious intelligence, who has traveled many paths, in which it has surrounded itself with protectors. True faith is the reward of all elderly spirits, whose intellectual development is not disheartened by society's moral decay. The line of progression and the means to rise is clear, and is consistent from other Spiritist literature I have read. But never have I seen the formula laid out so succinctly. I will lay it out in longer and ordered form, so the reader may process it. Number 1. Over many lifetimes, through many different types of struggles, we are able to discharge the baser instincts and learn that love, charity, fraternity, and honor is the preferred path. 2. As we behave in a more civilized fashion, we are able to begin the intellectual leap to build a base of reasoning to attain rational faith. 3. Employing our newfound tool of certainty, even in a culture that rejects our ideals, we are given more complex trials which exercise our intellectual dexterity and readiness for even more responsibilities in the future. 4. As part of our climb, we accumulate methods to withstand assaults against our basic principles, and at the same time, we establish relationships with other spirits to create a powerful support group on earth and in the spirit realm. This is the stark difference between success on earth and heaven. On earth there are many roads to the top, honorable and dishonorable. In heaven, the only path is work, faith, and love. We begin as primitive, ignorant spirits, living life through trial and error. Unbeknownst to us, like a kindergartner, we are separated through a series of lessons, each making a faint impression upon our immortal spirit memory. Eventually, a realization occurs, a spark of insight that there may indeed be something above us, more important than our desire for luxury and immediate pleasure. This flash of discovery propels us to create a rational foundation for our faith, which then enables us to commence a new level of trials and missions on Earth or another planet. One is able to look at life as a string of existences, culminating in an exciting discovery and reward in the spiritual world. The momentary deaths, the bout of disease and depression are more tolerable. Tolerable because they had reason behind them, and all were meant to produce a reaction to promote education. The British say it best: carry on. That is what we must do. Just carry on. Just keep moving forward with good humor, if possible, and never stop learning from mistakes and experiences. If you're interested in learning more about Spiritism, please read my book, Spiritism, Everything is Connected. Spiritism ties everything together. It reveals our purpose, our beginnings, our end goal, and the scope of the organization behind it all. Spiritism tells us there are no miracles, only phenomena that we don't yet understand. That miraculous healing, vision of spirits, near-death experiences, and glimpses of the future are all entirely possible given our place in the spirit realm. The spirit realm is dedicated to bring vital messages to us, not via organized religion, which had the tendency to withhold knowledge for their own gain, but to each individual so he or she could determine what path in life they would follow. We must each determine for ourselves whether we continue on to be mere consumers or to learn to balance our spiritual and material needs, so someday we may ascend up and out of the sphere of continual incarnations in a harsh learning environment to become a pure spirit and a contributor to the spirit universe. God bless.